What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil Shocker, the 96 Hedgehog here with Week 4 Team Builder of the LCD. If you guys can tell by the sound of this, I'm actually recording this in my dining room area of my apartment, so it's going to sound like a bit of an echo going on. So that's why I'm not going to talk too loud, hopefully, and also it's just the morning, so I'm tired. But yeah, we're here for Week 4 of LCD. Last week we took a bit of a tough beat, but we really are starting to learn the format and really started to pick up on how people prep with Mons going forward into future matchups, and definitely getting the idea of what they could go different or go the same with depending on the matchup. So, if anything, last week was a really good win in terms of just experience and learning the format. So, and I also got some advice from some people that'll run for some potential Mons going into future rematches if I do make the playoffs. Now, not gonna lie to you guys, I'm more likely probably not going to make playoffs, but overall, this experience for this format is just to have some fun and to just test my luck and see how well I can do in this format. Try to learn as much as I can, try to study, and obviously just learn how some people like to use Mons in some ways. And I'm gonna have to start maybe thinking, okay, maybe these mounts can be done differently. Like these mounts can actually be used offensively. These mounts can be used defensively. Like figure out the format as I go. And I think we've been doing so far pretty good. We've been building pretty good. We'll just have to see and go from where we're at. So, anyways, we're up here against Bugs Go Bird for week 4 here. He's got a pretty interesting team here that's definitely a bit hard to prep for, but I think we've prepped really, really good. And I'll give you guys my thoughts and opinion on the abilities as well going into this matchup as well. So I think I'm going to start doing that. But if you guys are excited, leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Join the Push Shocker crew today because you'll be filming the king of the crew. I do appreciate anyone that does view these team builders for this because this isn't the only time I'm really doing team builders for a league. It's just for this, so you guys get my thought process. I feel like it wouldn't make sense to just do the battle, have a pokey paste, and just not explain what the abilities are for and what they do with the team. So I think it's only fair to do team builders at least for a league like this. Other leagues, I mean, again, if you guys want to see team builders come back, you can let me know. But like, as of right now, team builders aren't really going to be a thing on my priority now. But anyway, let's get into this breakdown. So Bug's team is Swampert, Heatran, Zapdos, Haxorus, Greninja, which can be Protean in this game, but cannot be Battle Bond, Skuntank, Serena, Alcremie, Froslash, and Grubbin. They did not decide to draft a Mega Pokemon, which is very interesting on their part. I guess they were kind of maybe limited on their points going down all the way, but it's an interesting strategy. Strategy. Damn it, I can't even talk today. I'm actually not bringing my Mega this matchup, and the reason why I'm not bringing my Mega this matchup, it kind of struggles. Like Spinef Heatran just kind of walls it, and Swampert is just a really big problem because again, if Primordial C is up, I can't get my Solar Beams off. It's just really, really hard in this matchup to fit on here, so it's gonna be a no Mega fight. Ugh, no Mega battle. Yep. So looking at his 4 that don't come, I think Grubbin doesn't come unless he really loves the value of sticky webs. I don't think it's coming. Frostblast can possibly show up, but I don't know what kind of ability or some sort of thing it could do. It could maybe go with no guard because of blizzards and poltergeist potentially, something like that maybe. Alcremie I could see maybe as a potential Dauntless Shield, maybe Tinted Lens, maybe Magic Guard set, potentially, who knows. Serena I can almost see like Speed Boost, maybe Tinted Lens in terms of attacking some of my Mons. Because it could use Tinted Lens to its advantage with Power Whip spam against my team, which definitely could hurt. But again, I think the realistic 2 I could see potentially coming is just the Alcremie, and into some regards, I would probably say Frostlass in some way. Now for the 6. Swampert, there's a couple of ways Swampert could be ran. It could run with potential Primordial C. I can definitely see that thing be a Magic Guard user, just like Seismitoad was last week. But also, it could just be a Dauntless Shield Pokemon. It's going to definitely be a Stealth Rocker for this matchup because it's going to definitely get reliably off those rocks, which is going to be a little annoying for my team, but not end up being the game changer. Heatran's very interesting in this matchup. I feel like Heatran can go a couple different ways. There is potential to be potentially a Sheer Force or Magic Guard set, which definitely could be a big problem. The two main type of sets I can expect him to bring is most likely a Storm Drain set, which just completely shuts down water spam from my side, which can definitely be a big issue for my team if I am not careful. But another big ability I could see it being brought is Levitate, because there's a lot of good chances I can pack ground coverage. Now, if he's Levitate Heatran, it's actually going to shut one of my Pokemon completely down. Now, is there a chance he could bring Levitate Heatran to this matchup? Yes and no. Do I think it's going to be brought? I can't say for sure. I don't know exactly what kind of set he thinks he could bring. Because again, I do have some mons that doesn't necessarily have to run coverage for it. Excuse me. Again, it's the morning. Again, to run the coverage for it. So I don't know if he'll bring Levitate. He could easily bring it. So I definitely got to try my best to try to scout for that early game, especially. Zapdos definitely give you potentially Primordial C for a very offensive Zapdos set. Definitely could be really, really annoying. I could also see a potential Regenerator set with Zapdos as well, so he doesn't have to run Roost unless he still wants to. But again, he can be one of those monsters that doesn't have to worry about running Roost, can run 3 attacks or 4 attacks and just go offensive as all hell against me. Haxorus, I could see potentially being a Sheer Force user, maybe a Intrepid Sword user, something like that around those range of those type of abilities. It's just a very hard hitting Pokemon. Greninja could be Protein this game. It's definitely one of the main abilities I can lean it towards. Otherwise, I don't really see anything else it could possibly do. It could, again, maybe be Tinted Lens potentially to do more damage in terms of offense. In terms of what else, I don't really know. Again, I think just Protein in this matchup is really going to be annoying for my team to deal with. And then Skunk Tank, again, I could see maybe something around Dauntless Shield, Levitate. Really just the only abilities, possibly Regenerator if you really wanted to, or maybe again another potential, Magic Guard Pokemon, maybe what's the word I'm thinking of? Regenerator Pokemon. I just don't quite know exactly. But I think I have the general idea of kind of what sets he wants to bring against me. So hopefully we have the right team to kind of counter those sets, and let's go into the team itself. Now I am bringing a very scummy Scizor set, but this is a Scizor set that I thought just really just beats his team in terms of just walling and just taking it down. We're bringing a very specially defensive Scizor this week with Toxic Roost, Sand Tomb, and Protect. Yes, I know. Ruler, you always hate it when people run Toxic or Toxic Protect stall against you. Listen, I understand. I'm being a hypocrite of myself with this. But legitimately, I think this is the only set that pretty much can beat his team. Now, here's the good news and the bad news of this set. The bad news is if he trains his levitate, I can't touch it. The good news is of this set is I could probably more times than not potentially PP stall out Heatran unless it's sub Heatran. But sub Heatran, I could definitely be in a problematic state. Now, Heatran does carry things like Earth Power, which could be a possibility it's being brought against me. But again, knowing my team, I don't think Heatran would bring that. Never mind. I take back what I said. Heatran definitely could bring that. But I think Scizor here can pretty much just beat Heatran 1v1 if it's not Levitate. Again, I need to find out if that's Levitate Heatran or not, depending on this matchup. But otherwise, Scizor can pretty much effectively wall and stall out the rest of his draft. 100% except for things like Skunk Tank, but again with Sand Tomb plus Protect and Roost, I can pretty much beat the Skunk Tank 1v1. We are running Flash Fire again because his team has a lot of good fire coverage on his squad. And this is also one of those mons that can kind of, in theory, kind of just beat his Haxorus as well with Sand Dune plus Toxic and then Protect and Roost. We can just really whittle it down. And if I have to just, get a few Toxic kills and then Scizor has to go down, then Scizor's done its job. Again, Scizor's job here is to literally just wall his special offense in this matchup and just kind of be able to just stall out his team. So I feel really good about this set, even though it is a very scummy set. We are running Sheer Force Life Orb again on our Dragapult Air Force here with Steel Wing, Shadow Ball, Skull, and Dragon Darts. This thing's mostly going to be clicking special moves this matchup, but the reason I have Dragon Darts on there is to break any potential Habom Berry on that Haxorus in case it is Habom Berry set. Otherwise, I'm really just clicking Skull plus Shadow Ball in this matchup. Again, Dragon Darts is also really good to handle the Greninja. Steel Wing actually does get boosted by Sheer Force, believe it or not. So I can actually be able to handle that Alcremie just fine, and the Frostlass as well, which is really, really nice. I am taking a bit of a risk going Life Orb in this matchup instead of something like a Culver Berry, or going something like Dragon Dance instead of something else. But I overall felt like this set is more better in terms of just being offensive in this matchup than trying to be bulky and try to be kind of protective and stuff. And plus, I don't really think he's bringing Choice Scarfers on anything really unless I see something kind of in this. And again, he does have a setup thread in one month, but I have a couple of counters to his setup, so that's going to be something to note there. But overall, I definitely think Air Force can definitely be a potential either late game win con or a really good mid to early game break. Making his return is Conky Conk, our Conk Kelder this week with Ice Punch, Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Poison Jab with the Tough Claws ability, which we ran the first time around. I think Tough Claws again is just super good in this matchup where priority is really good, fighting coverage is extremely good. I only need Ice Punch and Poison Jab just to really cover a few typings that I can't really beat. Now, obviously, if I do see the Frost Slash, this gets walled by Frost Slash, unfortunately. But again, Frost Slash is pretty, in my opinion, it's frail as a paper bag. And maybe some people will say, hey, run Scrappy. Scrappy would probably be a lot better in this matchup because then you can hit that Frost Slash for super effective damage. And I'm definitely going to look into that now after just saying that to myself now, actually. I will potentially look into that because of the fact that that could definitely be really good. And plus, with being Scrappy, I won't have to worry about being intimidated all the time. So I will actually think about that after I record this video. Because I don't know this, but overall, I'm running 107. Oh, I don't think I've ever gone over my spreads yet. Basically, I have max HP, 216 speed def, careful nature with 41 defense. Again, especially defensive. We are running 232 speed and max special attack, 25 in attack with a mild nature. Basically, I outspeed everything on his team besides any Scarfers out there. So that's pretty good there. So Calder, 117 HP, 156 attack, adamant nature, and 236 speed def. Pretty much a max speed def AV set with a really good HP investment and a lot of attack investment. This is overall designed to just kind of be able to hit his team, wear his team down, and just get recovery. Again, I will think about potentially changing this to Scrappy, because there could be a possibility I could have to face that slash. Next we have El Toro here, our Bulu, which I need to make Jolly Nature. I almost forgot about that. Thank goodness I caught that during the video. We're running El Toro, and El Toro has done nothing for us. It could have potentially won us the game against Tay last week, but I just couldn't pull the trigger on bringing out El Toro when there was just two flying types still left on my opponent's side of the field. I just could not risk it. And I definitely think, again, looking back at that, it was definitely the safer play going into Toros than it was to go into El Toro. So, but next time around, I might take the gamble and go with that again, though, just to see or try to bait in the Mons to come in. So, with that being said, let's get back into this team builder. We're running El Toro here. Our top of blue, 81 in HP, max attack, and 176 speed, with a +1 speed with speed boost. We outspeed everything on his team besides any choice scarfers. We are running substitute close combat, rock slide, horn leech. This time I'm not bringing sword stance. I don't think there's a necessary need for sword stance in this matchup because again I could just 1 to 2 AKO everything on his team pretty much with life form, which is really good there. Horn leech is good for life recovery, close combat, pretty much 2 shots, but everything else on his team. Rock slide should be in theory be able to 2-shot the Zapdos unless Zapdos is running something like the shield set or potentially just a really max defense set. And also running with Rock Slide because I'm not risking Stone Edge misses. Stone Edge misses are too valuable in this matchup to lose to, and I don't really want that. But overall, I definitely think Bulu can really do a lot of work in this matchup. I've been trying to make Bulu work. There are just some weeks where Bulu just does not get time to shine, and then Bulu also just doesn't get a chance to really do as much as I would. Could have shined last week, but again, could not pull the trigger. But hopefully this time it can do the work. Up next, we're running Bounce Mana Regieleki with a really weird set, but it's a really good set at the same time. We're running Body Slam with Stream Speed, Wild Charge, and Thunderbolt, 99 HP, Max Attack, Adamant, or not Adamant, Lonely, 56 in the special attack, and 192 speed. This speed lets me guarantee outspeed everything on his team. This also lets me guarantee outspeed +1 Haxorus, which is really good. And you may be seeing and asking yourself, why am I running Never Melt Ice? Well, because for one, I forgot to make this refrigerate. Hold on, where is it? There it is. I forgot to make that. Good job by me. But at least I'm catching it now. But we're running refrigerate, and what you guys don't know is it basically my normal type moves turn to ice type moves. But with the Never Melt Ice, my ice type moves basically get a kind of like a in terms of life orb boosted or expert belt boosted attack to my ice type moves. So with Body Slam plus Extreme Speed now having boosted ice attacks, and they're the strongest ice attacks I can make with Refrigerate, this mon's gonna be slamming into my opponent extremely hard. I do have Thunderbolt there. It's just as kind of a failsafe, just kind of like against most of his team. But again, Body Slam plus Extreme is gonna be really good to counter things like the Zapdos, the Serena. It's also gonna be good damage to do to Swampert, plus getting the chance to potentially paralyze the Swampert as well, and just weaken that thing down. That's why I felt confident bringing with Regieleki this week, just because of the fact that I can use this thing to really beat down Swampert. Plus, if Swampert's pretty much beat down to the point where Body Slam into Extreme Speed, or just 2 Body Slams in general can kill it, I can safely go ahead and get rid of that thing and then just start spamming electric and not electric stab against him because the only other resist he'll have is Haxorus, but I can pretty much beat Haxorus with my refrigerate. And again, Regieleki can be a really decent enough breaker and to really kind of just do it. It's not expected to be a win con like it was with Round last time around, but this thing is designed to really hit hard in this team. So I'm hoping that he can definitely put in a lot of work this week. And that's why I was bringing Tsunami or Gyarados, another Life Orb user this week. Very interested to run that, but I think it's going to work out for us here. We're bringing a very weird set as well. We're bringing Volt Absorbs. Basically, this wall Zapdos, and the Zapdos has Flying Stab, obviously. We're running Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Power Up, and Ice Fang with Life Orb. Now, with the Jolly set here, if we were max attack at +1 without Yachi Berry, Ice Fang 100% OHKOs the Haxorus guaranteed. We are not wanting Water Stab. Now, you may be asking yourself and questioning, why in the world am I not wanting Water Stab? Well, that makes no sense. Well, just in case this is like Heat Train is his answer to this Pokemon, because he may not think I might carry Earthquake this matchup because Earthquake doesn't really necessarily look good against him. When I literally just need to run probably Power Up, Water Move, and then maybe something like Sub, maybe Thunder Wave or something like that. I don't necessarily think he'll think Earthquake's going to be on there. He definitely could still think about it, but overall, Gyarados looks extremely good in this matchup. Like I really think Gyarados with these 3 attacks pretty much just cover his team to a T. I think it's really good there. 96 HP, max attack, 5 in defense, 28 speed up, and enough speed with that speed nature to +1 outspeed entire team that is not speed boosted. So hopefully Gyarados can put in a lot of work this week. Gyarados could have put in a lot of work also last week if I gotten that Dragon Dance off, but it's all right. We're gonna just move on from that and just hopefully try our best to go forward. But yep, that's gonna be the team, guys. Hopefully we do well here. I'm gonna again potentially think about changing Scrappy to Conkeldurr potentially if I really think I like the matchup for that. But overall, I think this is gonna be a really good game. I hope to potentially pick up at least one more win this season. Pretty much, if we lose this game, we are basically in a win and out situation essentially because we will then be at -1 and 3 in a 9-week season, and I'm pretty much gonna have to majority of the way win out. So it's gonna be a bit rough for us here. But again, I'm looking to have fun, definitely learn my skills, and hopefully I'll learn enough and be interested enough to participate in a second season of this league, which I definitely would like to, and just try my best. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.